Every year, the President of the United States stands behind a podium, looks into the camera, and tells you the State of the Union is strong. Every year. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what party. It doesn't matter if the country is bleeding out on the floor. The State of the Union is always strong. You've watched it. You've sat through the applause lines, the standing ovations, the handshakes, the rehearsed emotions, all of it. And somewhere in the back of your mind, if you're like me anyway, maybe when you're checking your bank account, when you're doing the math at the gas pump, or staring at a medical bill that you can't pay, you've thought the same thing that millions of Americans have thought. None of this is true. The State of the Union is not strong. Everything they said was a lie, and it feels like every day gets worse and worse for me. So, picture this. The president walks up to the podium and for once, just one time, says what every working person in this country already knows. It would go something like this. My fellow Americans, the State of the Union is a lie. It's not struggling. It's not facing challenges. It's not navigating headwinds. It's a lie. And every single person sitting in this chamber tonight knows it. The donors writing the checks know it. The lobbyists who are drafting legislations know it. The defense contractors, the pharmaceutical executives, the hedge fund managers who are watching from their penthouses they bought with your retirement money. They've always known it. The only people who don't seem to know it are the ones who are paying for it. You. So, let me do something no president has ever done before on this podium. Let me tell you the truth about the state of our union. The average rent in this country is now $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year just to keep a roof over your head. The median wage? Well, it's about $25 an hour. And that's actually very generous because in a lot of states, $25 an hour seems like a pipe dream, okay? Consider the minimum wage in how many states is still $7.25 an hour. Is that a living wage? Not even close. Do the math. After taxes, after health insurance, which we'll get to by the way, after the deductions, each your check, before you even see any money, half of your income goes to your landlord. Not to your mortgage, not to equity, not to building anything long-term. No, rent. Somebody else's investment property. 9 million Americans who wanted to buy a house got priced out of the market since 2022. 9 million families who did everything they were told. They saved money, they worked hard, and they waited. And guess what? The door was shut in their face anyway. First-time home buyers fell 26%. That's the lowest rate in over a decade. The American dream isn't dying, it's dead. And it's being sold to private equity and rented back to you at a markup. And groceries? Well, let's talk about that. Because food prices have increased nearly 30% since 2020. Let that sink in. 30%. Your paycheck didn't go up 30%. For most of you, either it barely went up at all or it's gone down because everywhere, all over the country, jobs are being cut. Hours are being cut. How are you supposed to pay your bills when you're only getting 15, 20 hours a week? Get another job. So you work 2 jobs working 20 hours each. And guess what? Maybe that's enough to pay your bills. And maybe it's not. And if it's not, what do? Look for a third job? For low-wage workers all across the country, the people who are stocking shelves, the people who are cooking your food, the people serving your food, the people working at the stores, the people pumping your gas, the people driving the trucks that bring you all your goods every day, the people who clean those buildings, well, they saw their actual wages, their living wages decline last year. Most people around the country right now are making less than they did a year ago. And when you factor in all of the increases in prices of everything, things are starting to look grim. Beef is up over 16% in just a year. People can't even afford to buy burgers and steaks anymore. Orange juice is up 30%. Coffee, nearly up 12%. But that's okay, guys, right? Because the Dow Jones Industrial Average is at record highs. The S&P 500 also broke records. Corporate profits are at historic levels. So the economy's doing great, right? That's what they're going to tell you. The economy is doing fantastic. Look at the AI companies. Look at how many trillions of dollars Nvidia's worth. Well, yeah, it's doing great for them. For the people in this room, that's doing great for the people who work in the government. It's doing great for all the people with the inside information like Nancy Pelosi, for all the people who own stocks, for all the people who sit on boards, who write the tax code and then walk through loopholes like they're built into it. These people don't pay taxes like you and I pay. These people spend their whole career trying to find loopholes so they don't pay taxes. They're laughing all the way to the bank. But for you and me, this economy is a slow motion eviction notice. Young workers all across the country right now are experiencing the sharpest income slowdown in the history of our country. They can't find jobs, they can't switch jobs because there's a hiring freeze. All across the country, the biggest companies are now not hiring anymore. Why? Well, it's because they're implementing AI and they're trying to replace people like us. Normal people can't buy homes because the prices are insane. They can't invest because they're using credit cards to buy groceries. And the people on the financial news networks sit there straight-faced and talk about consumer confidence. There is no consumer confidence. This country is flushing down the toilet as you watch this, okay? Consumer confidence is a joke. That's what they talk about. 53% of Americans say that grocery prices alone are a significant source of stress. Not an inconvenience, stress. The kind that follows you to bed, the kind that makes you do math in the cereal aisle, the kind that makes a parent choose between fresh vegetables and keeping the lights on. In the richest country in the history of civilization, people have to worry about how they're gonna feed their families. Your money, you should know where it goes. The Pentagon just asked for $962 billion, a $1 trillion military budget, $13.4 billion for autonomous weapon systems, drones, AI kill chains, unmanned submarines, and orbital weapon platforms. $6 billion on military IT. This is the first year in American history where the Department of Defense has its own dedicated AI budget line. Meanwhile, 3 out of every 4 American workers say they can't even afford anything beyond basic living expenses. According to the numbers, nearly 30% of Americans have taken on debt just to cover their daily costs. Okay, what happens when you put your bills on the credit card? Well, the credit card, the interest rates are going to kill you. Okay, how do you expect to pay the interest rates and pay off your credit card when you can barely even afford to pay your electric bill? It's not going to happen. This is a ticking time bomb. 28% of Americans had to move because they couldn't afford rent. They had to relocate to cheaper housing, all right? And we're spending $13 billion on robots that kill people? That's not defense. That's a priority statement, and you are not the priority. It's them. It's the AI systems. It's the people who are in the Epstein files. They are the priority. They are the ones running the shots. And you're just an afterthought. You're just a means to an end. In January 2026, the Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. 3.5 million. 2,000 videos. 180,000 images. Flight logs, contact books, emails that are spanning over a decade. There's FBI interview transcripts with underage girls describing what he has done to them. One girl was 14 years old. The FBI knew about Epstein since 1996. An agent received a direct complaint from a survivor that nothing ever happened because of it. Nothing ever happened. Nothing happened for over a decade. And when they finally did build a case, when prosecutors drafted an indictment against Jeffrey Epstein, guess what happened? Well, the U.S. attorney in Miami, Alexander Acosta, signed off on a deal that let Epstein plead to a state charge for running a child trafficking operation. Think about that. And what happened to this man, Acosta? Well, he went on to become the United States Secretary of Labor under Donald Trump. The Secretary of Labor, the man who gave a child trafficker a sweetheart deal, got a cabinet position in the United States government. And when Congress finally passed the Epstein Transparency Act and the files started coming out, what did we get? We got hundreds of redacted pages blacked out entirely, entire grand jury transcripts that were totally redacted. The Attorney General publicly stated that there was no client list, contradicting her own words. And what happened when the FBI's deputy director pushed back on how this Epstein files were handled? Guess what happened? He was demoted, okay? Nobody went to jail. Nobody in power was held accountable. The files showed names, photographs, connection to royalty, politicians, billionaires, you name it. And the official response from the President of the United States of America was this. And this is a direct quote. Epstein was somebody that nobody cares about. Nobody cares about. Give me a break. We all care about it. And we all care about how they prioritize covering up the Epstein files over us, over the American people, over the people who are struggling to survive. Children were trafficked. Girls younger than 14 years old were recruited. Children were trafficked to people who are still in power now, and nobody cares. The entire industrial operation was built to supply underage victims to the most powerful people on the planet. And the system? This system is the very same system that not only protected Epstein, but profited from him and utilized his services. These are the very same people who are sitting in this room right now. And they protected it for decades. And then, when forced to acknowledge it, classified, redacted, buried, and moved on. This is your government. This is the system. Not a flaw in it, not a bug, not a feature. Epstein didn't happen despite the system. It happened because of the system. Because when you have enough money, you have enough leverage and power, and you have enough photographs of the right people doing the wrong things, well, guess what? You're untouchable. And when you finally get caught, the machine itself steps up to make sure no damage happens to you. you're contained. The whole thing is contained. The deal gets cut, the files get sealed, the witnesses get discredited, or they die mysteriously, and the public is told to move on. Every year, children worldwide, millions of children, are trafficked. In the most visible case in modern history, the one with the flight logs, the one with the photographs and the mansion and the billionaires, it ends with a redacted shrug. Who knows what happened? Ask yourself this question, because you already know the answer to it. If a regular person in a regular town ran an operation like that, would they walk free? Would the prosecutor get a cabinet appointment? Would the president say nobody cares? Absolutely not. There's a gap in this country that nobody on the stage will mention. Not the wealth gap. Well, there is a wealth gap, but that's not obscene enough. The gap between what you're told is happening and what is actually going on. They call it an affordability crisis. They talk about it like it's the weather. Like inflation just blew and nobody could have stopped it. We don't know what's happening. No, it's not the weather. It's theft. And since 1979, productivity in this country has skyrocketed, believe it or not. American workers produce more an hour than at any time before in human history. And the wages for the people doing that work? Flat or declining. For decades, the median wage has kept pace with productivity since 1979. You'd be making over $36 an hour right now if this was true. Instead, you make $25 an hour if you're lucky, and that's $11 an hour stolen from you. Not lost, not gone, stolen, redacted. It went somewhere. It went to the people in this room, the people who paid for them to be here. They broke the unions. They shipped the jobs overseas. They flooded the labor markets. They eliminated all pensions. They turned healthcare into a profit center. They turned housing into a speculative asset class. They turned food into a commodity traded on future markets by people who have never set foot in a grocery store. Think about that. The man running this country right now probably hasn't bought groceries at a grocery store his whole life. And then they looked at you and said, learn to code. And what happened then? Look what happened to all the coders who are being eliminated from jobs due to AI proliferation. Hospital services went up nearly 10% in the past year alone. Not because hospitals are getting better, not because the nurses are getting raises, but because the system is designed to extract the most revenue from the people who are most vulnerable. You're not a patient, you're a revenue stream. Insurance rates, well, obviously they're through the roof, and coverage is even getting worse. Okay? Utility costs are up. Electricity has climbed nearly 10% year over year. Gas is up nearly 10%. The basic infrastructure for survival, shelter, food, heat, health, all of it is being squeezed for profit by entities that answer to shareholders, not people, not citizens, not individuals who are struggling to survive, but the shareholders. And in return, what do you get? You get politics as entertainment. You get the left-right paradigm. You get this false paradigm. You get red team, blue team, an endless, exhausting culture war that is designed to keep you distracted and fighting each other so that you never look around and see who is actually pulling the strings and taking the money directly out of your pocket. They want you arguing about pronouns while they steal your pension. They want you screaming about the border while your school funding gets gutted. They want you tribal. They want you angry, and they want you tired, because tired, angry, tribal people don't organize. They don't demand. They don't threaten. They just vote for whoever yells the loudest and then go back to work. Meanwhile, there's crime rates that are through the roof. It's not even safe to walk outside anymore. You have an utter collapse of society itself and the morals in this society. People don't care anymore. They don't care about each other. Road rage is at epidemic levels. It's dangerous just leaving your house now because you don't know how other people are going to react. The American dream is dead. This country is collapsing right under our very noses, and leadership is nowhere to be found during any of this. They're playing pretend, completely insulated from the consequences of every decision that they make. The current administration, it campaigned to lower prices. They campaigned on transparency, on draining the swamp, on releasing the Epstein files. Then when the files came out, most of them were redacted, and the other ones showed that there is a satanic pedicult of cannibals who operate with impunity in the federal government. Prices went up, not down. The swamp, it didn't get drained. It got a renovation with a new coat of paint. The tariff? Tariffs jacked up the cost of imported goods, orange juices, coffees, electronics, auto parts. All the regular things that Americans buy on a daily basis got more expensive. The stock market fluctuated, which means nothing to 60% of Americans who don't own a single share. And even if they did, it wouldn't be enough to make a difference. $1 trillion for quote-unquote defense? $13 billion for AI weapons that are designed to kill you autonomously, and yet your kid's school can't even afford a librarian or a music class? That's the State of the Union, folks. It's not strong. It's not resilient. It's not the greatest economy in the history of the world. It's a country where working people like you and I are one medical emergency away from permanent bankruptcy, where young people have given up on ever owning a home, where the most powerful people on earth trafficked children and walked away clean, where your government spends more money on machines that kill you than keeping you alive. Our union is collapsing, and we must do something about it. The people in this chamber, they're gonna applaud when I'm done. They're gonna shake hands, they're gonna pose for the camera, and tomorrow they're gonna go back to fundraising calls, back to the lobbyists, back to the system that made them rich and made you desperate. And they've forgotten something. They've forgotten something very important, that they need you more than you need them. Every single structure that they've built in this country, every Wall Street firm, every defense contractor, every tax loophole, every redacted page on the Epstein files runs on your labor, on your hard work, your taxes, your compliance, and your willingness to keep showing up to a rigged game even though you know that there's no way out of it because there's no other option. There is another option, however, and it starts with looking the lie in the face and calling it what it is. The State of the Union is broken, it's corrupt, and it's maintained by people who benefit from your exhaustion. That's the truth, and you deserve to hear it a long time ago. The only question is this: what do you do now that you know the truth? Thank you, and good night. God bless America.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is still Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. What do you want to be when you grow up? Little Ward? When you become Big Ward? I want to be an astronaut. What about you, little Johnny? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. What about you, little Johnny? Not little Johnny, I just said little Johnny, man. What about you, little Susan? What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a nurse. What about you, Diane? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Alright, he wants to get his girlfriend. Go get your girlfriend.
I want to be a lawyer too.
Alright, and now
Y'all remember them days
you are going to dance like you've never danced.
when you were a child?
Alright.
I know I do when I was a child.
Don't be mad.
Thinking about what I wanted to be, what I was going to do when I grow up. I remember having hopes and dreams, aspirations. And I remember believing that it's possible that one day I could do certain things. And even though I ran across a pitfall, I got some setbacks, I got sidetracked. And I was doing the wrong thing, wasn't nowhere near living my dreams. And what I wanted to be when I grew up. Wasn't nowhere near doing it. I didn't want to be no D-boy when I was a child. I didn't say I want to be a D-boy when I grow up. I didn't say I want to get high every day if I grow up. But I ended up doing that anyway, at one point in time in my life. But even then, when I was caught up in the mix, when I was out there doing bull junk, I still had just a little bit of hope. Let me repeat that to show you how different times are. Even when I was homeless, smoking every day, getting high, drinking, not working, had gave up on life, didn't want to be here. Even back then, I felt like if I stopped doing what I'm doing, my life could get better. So even in my most hopeless time, there still was a little sliver of hope. Still was able to dream a little bit. A little optimism. And it was based on, I knew my actions was the reason I was in the situation I was in. Follow me. Back when I was homeless, broke, busted, and disgusted, I knew and felt, even if I was wrong, I felt like my life could get better if I just make a few different choices than what I was making. Wasn't no guarantee that my life could get better, but I believed it could, even though it was in the crapper at the time. In 1990, what year that was, about 94, 95, no, about 96, 97 after my mom died, somewhere from there. My life was in shambles, based on decisions I had made. And no matter how bad my life was, somewhere in there, I still felt like it could get better. Especially if I stopped doing X, Y, and Z, I felt like my life would get better. I still had hope. Optimism. Not much, just a little bit. So, time passed by, I stopped doing the things I was doing, and sure enough, I was right. My life got better. So me thinking at the time, when I was asked out, that I could do better if I stopped doing X, Y, and Z, that came true. So for now, here we are today in 2026. And there's millions of people around America feeling hopeless, like I felt back in 1996. There are millions of people in America who have checked out on life. Millions of people who see no hope. They're messed up too. Some of y'all watching me. Homeless, broke, unemployed, poor health, lonely, divorced, in a marriage you don't want to be in, they treat you like crap but you can't afford to leave. You name it. Life is out here. Life. But there's a difference in today's hopelessness compared to the hopelessness I experienced. Because now I'm feeling the same way again. I'm feeling hopeless. Not feeling optimistic. Don't feel like there's anything to look forward to. And I I can honestly say, this time is right. See, I don't have that I told you back then I had just a little hope, a little optimism that if I stopped doing X, Y, and Z, because I was doing some things that got me in that situation. Today, what's different is, it's people that ain't doing the wrong thing. The difference between today, what I'm dealing with and what a lot of y'all are dealing with and what I was dealing with back then, is back then I was doing some bullshit that I ain't doing today. And still find myself feeling the same hopelessness I felt back then. Still feeling like I ain't got nothing to look forward to, like I felt back then. And a lot of y'all right now watching me feel the same way. It's hopeless. Nothing to look forward to, no ambition, no dreams. When I started the video, I was asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you had, as a child, you had ideas and dreams that you wanted to be. We can't do that no more. Because now we live in a time where your hard work don't mean nothing. Now we live in a time where no matter how hard you try, it ain't gonna get you nowhere. Decades ago, in the 90s, if you tried hard, if you did the right thing, you stood a great chance of making it. So you had a reason, no matter how hard your life was. Back then you had a reason to still have hope. Back then you had a reason to believe that you could still make it no matter what your circumstance was. But here we are today with a new thing, well, at least new to me. I don't know how long it's been around, but we got the working homeless. The non-alcoholic, non-drug addicted homeless. We got people that have cars. Back when I was out there, homeless people didn't have cars. Homeless people wasn't sober. Homeless people got drunk every day, got high every day, didn't have no car. Nowadays, we got homeless people that have cars, that don't drink, don't get high, got jobs, still homeless. So now, I was noticing, maybe y'all noticed it too, you might be the type of person I'm talking about. A lot of people, millions of people, and I don't get all the email from millions of people, but I get email from people that just saying, man, I'm just living day for day. I don't want nothing. I ain't trying to do nothing. I ain't trying to have nothing. I'm just living one day at a time. Come with me, whatever happens. I ain't got no hope and plan for the future. I don't care about what the future holds. I don't give a damn about who the president is. I don't care what kind of policy he enact. I don't care who the senator is. I don't care who the governor is. I don't care who the pastor is. I don't care nothing about no God, no Jesus, no Buddha, no Allah. I don't care about none of that shit. I give up. I have no hope for this world. Oh, I'm hearing that from some of y'all. This ain't something I'm making up. People have checked out. I have many days myself. I don't want to be here. I'm not gonna check out as far as doing something to myself. I remember being in a relationship a few times. And I remember a woman telling me, after I asked her, she left me, right? You know how to do it. She left me. She left me. We had been together years. And it seems like, all of a sudden, she just made up her mind one day and just left. That would have seemed like to me. To me, it seemed like She just woke up one morning and said, like, Gwen, I don't want no broke ass man. It seemed like to me she made that decision that day to leave me. And women can attest to this. Men too, but for sure women. I said, how you just gonna up out of nowhere and just leave me? She said, well, I've been gone. I checked out on you a year ago. Huh? Like the song say, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. She was with me, but she had checked out. Her mind wasn't with me. She had no hope with me, no plans with me, no dreams with me, no desire for no future with me. She didn't think there was a future with me. She didn't think she had no future with me no more. She had lost all hope that she had a future with me. So even though her body was still with me, she had checked out years ago. Her mind wasn't with me no more. Her hopes and dreams and heart wasn't with me no more. She had checked out. That's what she told me. She said, I checked out on you over a year ago. I had no idea about, I didn't know what? Now I know what you're talking about. See, I done checked out here. I'm just here doing the everyday thing. I don't see no hope in the world no more. Call me Mr. Pessimistic, Mr. whatever you want to call me, Mr. Doom and Gloom. I don't see no hope, and I'm a dude that was homeless at one time and still had hope. Here I am today, I don't see no hope for this world. It's over. I'm at a point now. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Not gonna hurt nobody intentionally. Not gonna hurt myself intentionally. I know what it is that I need to do on a daily basis. And I'm gonna do just that. But as far as talking about making plans for the future, where do you see yourself in 5 years? The hell if I know. Y'all remember them questions back in the day, when you was out dating? And a woman would ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 5 years? I don't know. And right now, I don't even care. The way this world going right now, I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years. Who does? First of all, I always thought that was a dumbass question to ask somebody whether they see themselves in 5 years. If I can see that far ahead, I'll see what the lottery tickets are and go hit that lottery. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Women used to ask me on dates and stuff. And I was trying to sound all prolific. Well, I hope to have such and such in my 401k. And I hope to be making plans to start a business and blah, 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 blah. Trying to sound all like I got it figured out. When in reality, I ain't know where the hell I'm gonna be in 5 years. But you gotta say something because I'm trying to hit that box. So I would say something. But nowadays, I ain't even play with it. You ask me where I see myself in 5 years, I don't know and I don't care. And that's as best as I can tell you. I don't know where I'm gonna be, and honestly right now, the way this shit looking, I don't even give a damn. I'm tired of worrying. I'm tired of having my hopes and dreams crushed right in front of my face. I'm tired of trying hard, giving my all, doing my best for nothing. I'm tired of having my life being determined by others. My success is determined by others. Others have messed the economy up to where I can't work even if I want to. I didn't do that. Others have raised my health insurance to $1,400 a month, whether I can afford it or not. I didn't do that. My rent, $1,300 a month in a little small town. I didn't do that. They didn't ask how I feel about it. Am I okay with it? Alabama Blue Cross Blue Shield asked me, am I okay with them going up to $1,400 a month? They didn't ask me was I okay with a $90 copay. They asked me how I felt about none of that. There's too much bullshit in this world that I nor you can control, but yet it still affects our lives, and I ain't got no control over it. Nobody asked me how I feel about them putting poison in our food. They didn't ask me my opinion on it. Do I agree with it? Did anybody ask you? Folks always tell me a poll said this, a poll said that. Did they take a poll and ask you how you feel about them putting hormones in your chicken? Did they ask you how you feel about them cloning food? Did they ask you how you feel? What you think about? Do we have your permission to sell you fake meat and not even tell you? To put poison in the seeds that you plant. You thinking you eat fruits and vegetables, you healthy, but it's full of poison. Did they ask for your permission for that? No. So now you around here with all kind of health issues and diseases, fingernail cancer, hair follicle cancer, shit you ain't never heard of. And you ain't got no say-so in it. So now I'm at a point to where I'm like a lot of y'all. I done checked out. What you gonna do about it? What can you do? I just sit back and watch. I watch the protest. I watch this. I watch the election. I watch this lying politician. I watch this lying ass woman. I watch this lying ass fake ass friend. I just sit back and watch. And all I can think about it, I've been checked out a long time ago. I don't really give a damn what the hell happened. I know what I want to happen, but overall I don't give a damn what happened. Because I realized a long time ago what I want don't mean a goddamn thing in the grand scheme of things. It's gonna be what it's gonna be no matter what I want or how I feel about it. So I checked out. I just said the hell with it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, whatever happen, happen. Fuck it. What say you? Get it, got it good. Bye.
Yeah. Nigosaki Sensei. Just gonna let you know that ahead of time that this might offend you. We don't know the truth of Yah, you know what I'm saying? And that's what truth does. Truth shakes you to your very core. Until you can't deny it no more. You ready? Yeah. People would rather go and worship themselves instead of worshiping the Most High Yah who created them. This is dedicated to the strong believers who evaded the deceivers until the masses hated them. I would rather lose friends and comrades for the sake of the truth than the other way around, man. What a beautiful moment it's gonna be when Yahushua HaMashiach returns with the crown, man. Y'all would rather go and listen to a guru who tells you about your chakras and all this other nonsense. I would rather listen to the Holy Spirit since the counsel of the Most High plays on your conscience. I can't help but feel a little funky when you tell me I'm a god that evolved from a monkey. This will probably be viewed as a hate song, but you're probably right because I hate wrong. Like I said. Yeah.
we seen the beginning of the end of the United States being in the center of attention of power. Bro, now that the U.S. has left a lot of the playing field with the other countries, you start noticing countries are banning goods for shit. And, you know, it's making you wonder, was the U.S. suppressing this type of stuff? Were they keeping it on the down low that they, found some stuff in other countries that could help people? But see, here in the United States, we treat the disease, the illness, cure it. There is no money in a one-time cure. But for treatment, think about things. 90% of the time chemo. Look at dialysis, man. People are feeling horrible after it. Honestly believe they still in the plasma. You see that yellow go out the tube, man. I don't see the yellow, and most people say they don't see the yellow go back in. Dude, I want to ask you a question. You're looking at all of this. Pay attention. Everything in the U.S. is a money. And people are talking about that Europe and all of them are leaving, Visa and MasterCard. And they got their own situation going, using, their banks over there. This will cost the U.S. trillions because these people will walk away, because they're looking at it like, wait, hold on. All our stuff got to go through you all first. So if something happened there, we fucked. So they're starting to think, hey, that ain't a good thing. See, a lot of people are thinking. They were asking how to fix the medical situation, medical billing and all that. Shit, I'm gonna tell you something. Itemize the bill. Start looking at what they're charging you and how much they're charging you. And, I'm looking at the fact that if we could protest something that we could actually get done, it would be okay. Healthcare reform, man, we really need that. Universal healthcare is not going to really work here because, again, I doubt if that works. Remember when they were just trying to get everybody to get healthcare? Remember, everybody was like, oh, man, I'm not getting no healthcare. I'm healthy. And a lot of people who weren't healthy were getting insurance. But I'm going to say this about insurance, man. You pay into insurance for 10 years and you're not sick, you're just giving somebody your money. And you're getting nothing out of that. My whole thing is, man, if you're healthy, you should give me something back. If I haven't used this in 5 years, I should be getting something back. And I hate to say it like that. That's true. Same thing with your car insurance. Man, you paying into a scam. These things are scams. Then all of a sudden you get sick. They want to raise the premium. You're using it. I haven't used it in 10 damn years. On the 10th year, I used it, and all of a sudden you saying something different. Think about it. You get into a car accident. You haven't had a car accident or no fender bender or anything in 5 years since you done start driving. And all of a sudden, on the 6th year, Lord behold, somebody bumped the back of you. Even though it wasn't no fault of your own, your insurance is going to go up. And this is how they do it. Each year insurance go up. Either car insurance, healthcare insurance. This is how they do it. Your premiums go up. And all of a sudden, you're looking for different healthcare. And to be honest, there's really no different healthcare out there that can really help people. Because honestly, the deductibles are so damn high that you are sitting here like, man, I might as well pay out my pocket. This is the America that we live in. The America that doesn't offer you any damn thing. And people are like, no, you shouldn't be taking no handouts. You should be pulling yourself up out of bootstraps. Yeah, pulling yourself up out of bootstraps, but you got to catch a break somewhere. You need to find a job. When there's no job to find, how the hell you going to pull yourself up? And people were telling me, you lying. It's easier to eat healthy. It's cheaper. I don't know where the hell you live. Shit, if you've seen the food prices where I'm at when it comes down to meat, dude, it's not 20 cents. It ain't $1.50 per pound. I don't know what, decade you living in, what's going on, bro. But right here in Chicago, that ain't how shit is. And I learned that the hard way when I went to other states and found out it was expensive as hell there. So I'm trying to figure out what's really going on. So they're reforming the Link situation, the EBT card. They reformed that here in Chicago. You got to do this, and this, man. And I'm like, come on. And people are like, yeah, but you know, you getting them free money and this and that. Man, we done gave everybody in the damn world free money. Come on, man. My whole thing is don't nickel and dime every damn body else. You know, shit, I hate to say it. I'd rather see somebody here get it than somebody in other countries get it. You getting somebody else $60 billion and you sitting there crying that, you know, there's people here homeless. Yeah, there are people here homeless. But you got people also here that's going to take advantage of the situation. That's with anything. You got people in other countries taking advantage of the situation. What happened when Puerto Rico had that situation in time and all the aid that they sent didn't go to the people? They come to find out some of the shit was stored in warehouses. Man, they opened these warehouses and found tons and tons of, you know, cases of water. They found food. They found all type of shit, bro. This is how fucked up this is. See, you know, one hand don't know what the other hand is doing. And this is why I was saying some things. You know, someone was telling me the other day, I said, Puerto Rico's in trouble. I said that. And they were like, no, it's not. You know, Puerto Rico has the best of both worlds. I said, yeah, but Puerto Rico is heavily in debt. I said, Puerto Rico at one point in time could have been a U.S. state back in the 70s and early 80s. They were trying to pressure them to become. And they were like, no, we get all the benefits and we get to stay our own place. You see where that got them. They trying to push to become a state now. What the hell? That don't make sense no more. It's no benefit no more. When you had the actual people giving benefit, you know, like, because it's a strategic point, you know, where they have, where the military can see certain things. That's why that's there. That's why they wanted to make them in Guam 51st and 52nd states. If you ain't careful, they'll make Mexico the 53rd state. Dude, it's a lot of problems. Now you know half of this drug traffic situation. You know, half of these cartels are in bed with the U.S. government. You do know that, allegedly. You all know that, right? Dude, why did you think that the CIA flooded, you know, cracking into the projects of New York City? Dude, what you thought was happening? What you thought? They flooded low-income areas with this shit to fund the war. You see how messed up that is? These people are supposed to be here to protect you, but they not. They preying upon you like predators. Dude. And you come to find out that the people we have as politicians are predators. Shit. Dude, it's crazy as hell if you look at this situation. I told you before that Prince Charles taking care of his situation over there. He rounded motherfuckers up in his own family. This is how real that shit got over there. He like, you ain't gonna fuck up my legacy. And I don't blame him. But what we doing over here? Man, was y'all there to look at that thing with Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo? When the guy said nigga, straight out nigga. Man, can I ask you a question? I have to ask this. What was the purpose of it? What was the purpose of it? It was actually a really good movie. It had a point to it that you couldn't miss. There was an underlying everything in it. But you know, my whole thing is, why do everybody take it to a whole new level of this? You know, can't we just get along for a little while? Even though that wasn't here, but you know, I'm just saying, can't we just get along for a little while? Dude, we've been played against one another right now. We've been getting played against one another for the longest. And people still fail to see it, man. It's like people falling for the okie doke and getting mad they fell for the okie doke. What I'm looking for, I want America to be strong, but I want America to be real. This country stopped being real a long time ago. We start listening to other people tell us what we should be doing. School is nothing but a damn trap. It's brainwashing every damn day. Telling you false stories, false narratives. You have stories passed through your generation from your family members, from generation to generation, and you hear the story, you hear what happened. But you remember one thing that they told you. This is why it's called history. Because it's his story. It was written by the people who won, not the people who lost. You'll never hear the loser side because, again, you think the winner was the right one. No. If you truly found out what really happened in this country, throughout the course of time, man, it probably would turn your stomach. Dude, you think trafficking just started, man? Look at those Amber Alerts. It's like a dinner bill for pedophiles. I'm serious. For the predators, man, they out there looking like, oh man, it's one out here. That's what I think the Amber Alert is, man. You know what? Even though it was started, for all the right reasons, but it's a whole lot of wrong shit happening with that. And when was the last time you seen an Amber Alert? I haven't. Dude, what happened to all the kids on the milk cartons? Why didn't they stop putting kids on milk cartons? What? It's not like they didn't know where the kids were. They knew where the kids were. Dude, they come to find out a lot of those kids was being exploited. In porn movies, underage kids being touched by grown-ass men and women. Dude, it's wild how everything plays itself out. It's wild how everybody thinks that, this stuff is going to somehow fix itself. Dude, we're not protesting in the street. I'm not enlightened. I don't know what's what. Man, I was thinking maybe we all should be doing some protesting and, sitting down trying to come up with good things, man, to come up with things that could actually work for all of us. Because, man, right now, it really looks bad. I'm like, I see people protesting, for Palatine and, people being deported. Motherfucker, you not even protesting the cost of living. Damn it. Man, somebody was just telling me, man, this bus card cost you that much the other day. And I'm sitting there like, you ain't never damn lie. You getting on the damn buses and trains, you scared. You got homeless people coming through there, man, smelling like the dead, bro. Smelling like, man, hollering and screaming. Dude, there's people of all colors doing all type of wild shit. You walking down the street downtown and somebody shitting right next to the damn bus stop. And you just like, damn, in broad ass daylight, bro. You like, man, come on. I'm like, could we do better, man? Could this all be better? I'm so tired. It's like, yeah, I understand you can't put people like this and, certain places. This is why we need asylums back open, bro. You let all these people out on the street, man, and that was a reason behind it, man. To jump up, spike up crime, bro. All of this was a damn fear tactic to get us to, buckle. Like I told you before, a while back, they had carjackings, man. What they do? They beat your ass and pulled you out the car. Sometimes, man, if you didn't listen, they shot your ass. And no disrespect to the people who got hurt, people who feel somehow I'm talking down or belittled. That ain't what I'm doing. I'm just stating something. But what happened when they carjacked you? You had to go buy another car, right? What happened when they stole your damn wallet? Guess what? You had to call and get all those cards canceled. You got to get your cards reissued. You got to go get your important information redone, like your driver's license or whatever you had on you. Just think about all this damn stuff. They snatch your purse. It's the same as snatching my wallet. So you sitting here thinking to yourself, they snatch your phone, you got to go get another phone. Dude, when they doing all these smash and grabs, they ain't even doing smash and grabs anymore. Why? You should be asking yourself, well, why? They're no longer doing smash and grabs. Haven't seen them in the paper, haven't seen them in the news. They're not doing smash and grabs anymore. They're not doing carjackings anymore. They're not doing half of that shit anymore. Don't get me wrong, it's still happening. You know, like carjackings and things like that, people robbing. But it's not happening on that grand scale like it was before. All this shit was meant to scare you, to get you to vote a certain way, to get you to, you know, look at everything and, you know, this is happening in the city and Mayor Brandon Johnson is letting it happen. What the hell he supposed to do, kill everybody? You can't just go around shooting people. Bro, it's real out here. You know, they said maybe we need more police. You don't need more police. You need to put the police in a place where they need to be to get rid of crime. But I said before, crime is lucrative. Criminals feed the justice system. Then they feed the prisons because the prisons are privatized, bro. Billionaires and millionaires owning prisons. Ask yourself, then the taxpayers are paying for the prisons. You gotta make this shit make sense. Then they use the music to get you. All this violent ass music, all of this weird sexual energy that's pushed through this music. You know, it's ambiguous, man. It's just weird. You know, then they got you out here with this weed where they made weed legal in some states. And you go into the dispensary to get this weed and it's strong as hell. It has all these weird chemicals in it, man. And I mean, damn. And it make you sit back and wonder, what's in that? Dude, somebody was smoking medical, I guess, you know, weed, you know, and, you know, they were just outside smoking, man, and it was strong as hell. Maybe bought it from the dope dealer. But it was so strong. I'm like, do you think that's a good idea to be smoking that? It smell like that? Oh, man, it's the good stuff. This is what the guy was saying. It's the good stuff. And I'm looking at him like, bro, come on. Y'all not even asking what y'all putting in y'all damn body. And I know y'all said, but look who talking. Oh, man, you eating this stuff and you ain't even looking at the labels. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. You can read every label you want to. None of that shit makes sense. On the food, it tells you this ground beef is 6 pounds in there. You put it on a scale, you find out that shit is 2 pounds. You put one on there that say 8 pounds, 4 pounds. You put something on there that say 7 pounds, 3 pounds again. Dude, this is all a scam. They're just trying to get you to spend money. Now, all of a sudden, you got all these snowstorms popping up again. People power going out again. This is all to get you to spend money. Everything that's out here is designed for you to spend money. It ain't designed for you to win anywhere. When you're not spending, that means the economy is doing bad. And you know what? It's not feeding the rich people, you know, helping gas up their private jets and, you know, all of this other stuff. Buying them homes in other countries where they could do weird shit to kids and, you know, hunt people, you know, doing hunting parties. And they're buying islands. And you know what? I hear so many people talking about the Epstein Island. It wasn't the only island. There's been damn near 10 islands. But people only talk about North Fox Lake and they talk about Epstein Island. Those are the only two. Then you might hear people talk about Scorpios. That's the island that Onassis owned. Now, those 3 islands, man, had some shit going on them. But see, a lot of people don't know about the Onassis Island, you know, because, again, only the elite was on it. He had people to come visit and all that stuff, but at certain times, you weren't allowed on it. And see, the thing is, man, I want you to think about all this stuff. See, when you start thinking about this stuff do not intersect, they're talking to you about aliens right now. And they said, well, see, the aliens keeping you away from the Epstein files. No, they're not. You come to find out some of this shit is tied together, bro. You come to find out if you go through some of those damn alien files, they're just as fucked up as the Epstein files, bro. And people are not getting that. So it's letting you know that there's other shit going on and you're not paying attention. You too busy worried about Candace Owens and the shit she talking about. She's not on our side. She never was. She's part of the other team. She's just a plant. She's like the Kevin Hart of podcasts, bro. I hate to say it like that, but man, look, what happens a lot of times, to say is you can't see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we're being lied to right in our face. They playing red in our face. They funding both sides of this war with Mexico and the cartels. Dude, the damn president done left the damn, area that she was in because they were fearing for her safety, man. Come on. And the American government just went over there and started all kind of shit and said, oh, we did what we needed to do. Now we're going to even it to you. But did they go over there and get the American people from these all-inclusive? No, they didn't. They didn't do what they did in Hurricane Katrina. You know how they sent special forces units to go guard some of those expensive buildings down there to make sure none of those buildings were damaged? They were killing anybody that was going to those buildings. You didn't know that? See, the thing is, once you go deep diving into this shit, man, it goes real deep. You come to find out, listening and talking about Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk, and you start talking about Epstein and aliens, all the shit. If you look at it, it don't make no sense. Then you start going into it, it started making a lot of sense. You got people in Hollywood that you think are men that are really women and women that are really men. I don't understand. It's this shit that, then you come to find out that the music industry has ties with all of this. The trafficking, and all of that. Then you've come to find out the church has ties with the trafficking. Where does it end at? Military has ties to trafficking. The detention center where they had all those people when they were coming across the border, and they had them all up in those buildings and stuff. 20,000 girls went missing. Where did they go? Did they ever find them? Was it 20,000 or 2,000? One of them. They never found none of them. How do all those people go missing? How did they all leave out of there? That place is cameraed all up. Now you see. This is why I say sometimes, man, you think you really know what's going on? You don't. I hear so many people talk about poverty like there's no poverty. You don't know. Valley just experienced poverty, and you upset at it. Man, some people were born in poverty. Some people were told they'd never make it and never be anything. That shit pushed you. It made you grind even harder to be somebody, to be something. Now that you something, people can't stand it because you wasn't meant to make it. You was just meant to be a statistic, bro. And this is what's happening right now. People are finding ways to do better without any help at all. Think about it. You got all these people telling you all kind of shit. But do they truly know what they're talking about? Your politicians hid the fact that COVID came out. They knew about it ahead of time. They were told what stocks to invest in. Politicians knew. And they invested in the stocks and made a ton of damn money. But they went and had parties and without masks. They were having good times. They're on vacation, no masks. But they telling you, you got to shelter in place and wear masks. Oh, you see how that works. The hypocrisy in all of this. Dude, come on now. And people were like, COVID was killing people. It wasn't COVID that was killing people. It was something else killing people. Dude, it's just like, you remember when HIV came out? You remember how people were looking like they were melting and every damn thing else? And they're like, you got HIV, you don't got low. People were dying within like damn near days. And you like, damn, what is really going on? Nobody's dying in days now. And people like, well, they got medications. If you ain't, motherfucker, people been out here with HIV for years. No medication. Nothing. They're not falling out dying. What's going on? This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying everybody, experience it as the same. It's just like these people out here with all of these illnesses, bro. They're not, diagnosed. They're not given medication. They just out here, spreading it to every damn body. one of the biggest things I learned is to pay attention. Don't spread your seed everywhere. You know, don't put yourself in situations that you can't come back from. You know, our time on this planet is short. But sometimes we make it seem like we got a lot more time, but we don't. We're sitting here on a precipice of either doing something great or doing something really bad. And it seems like right now we're on the verge of going extinct. You know, you're starting to see that ants are not as common as they used to be. Beetles are dying off. Butterflies are damn near MIA. And bees, you don't got bees too much anymore because all of these damn plants got all that weird shit in them and it's killing the bees and all of that. They got all these pest-resistant crops, man, that no longer able, you know, it's just wild. Then all the trees they got out there, you know, they got all these damn male trees. There's no more female trees. You can't plant shit anymore. They don't want you to plant fruit or anything like that. They don't want you to be self-sufficient anymore. Dude, you go any damn where else, banana got seeds in it. Here it has no seeds. It has no seeds here because they don't want you to grow bananas. All of this is on purpose. And people are like, well, peach trees can't last in like Chicago because it wouldn't do good. Apples or oranges or, you know, lemons, all this shit would do good in Chicago. Just seasonal, just like every damn thing else. You know, when the season ain't good, it just don't grow. You know, that's my whole thing. They've been lying to us about every damn thing. And they're gonna continue to lie. They're gonna blame everybody else but themselves. They're gonna make it seem like it's your fault for not really, you know, trusting them. And when I say them, I'm talking about the government, man. These people get off on screwing us over. But see, we get off not listening. And you know, most people say, man, you sound like a know-it-all. It sound like you know everything. You always make it seem like you know something. I read a lot. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, bro. And I try not to, but for some reason, I have to pay attention to things, man. You know, that's just my nature. You know, we don't get it. But like I said before, man, there's some stuff that's about to happen. Popping up. You know, animals are going extinct right now. And nobody talking about it. And, you know, we on the verge of war. Nobody talking about it. All these other countries pulling back. And they're looking at it. And people are like, well, everybody's getting America because America. Brother, if you can't get people to join the military anymore, I told you before, there are gangs in the military. There's rape in the military. There's all type of shit going on. Just keep it in mind. But to later, fam, thank you for watching.
I've heard so many people say you're not by yourself. It's been 14 days I've been on YouTube and I see brothers coming together on my post I made. I'm 32 and my life is falling apart. As you guys can see, I got my baby boy in the back and I'm thankful because when I look in the back, it's a reminder that I have to keep going. And I want to encourage you, brother, who may be out there, whose heart may be broken. I have tears that's literally in my eyes because I posted a video being vulnerable. I posted a video talking about separation, talking about how I was depressed, talking about how the money was funny and the change was strange and how I was battling some things. I opened up. I allowed myself to be vulnerable, praying, God, can you take my testimony to encourage somebody else? And that's what God did. And on today, I want to let you know that you was made for this. As I'm reading the comments, you all are showing me so much love, but I want to throw that love back to you to remind you that you was made for this. You was made for the ups. You was made for the downs. You was made for the lonely moments. You was made for the dark moments. You was made for the happiness. You was made for the sad. Whatever it is that you may be going through, remember, you was made for this. And God will not put more on you than you can bear. My brother, I'm coming here today because I made a promise to drop a video each and every day. I didn't post this video earlier because God said, get out of the routine. To me, sometimes I can't function. I can't move if it's not a certain rhythm. I'm used to doing things at certain times. Going here, picking up my daughter, picking up my son, filling this out, uploading this video, shooting this video, filling out this paperwork. But God said, in order for me to do something new in your life, you have to be willing to stop the routine and allow me to flow freely in your life. If you want God to do something new for you, you have to be 100% okay with God having control over your life. God, come in. It's not always going to be ugly. I won't always be depressed. I won't always be in this. I won't always feel like this. God, I believe that sooner or later it's going to turn in my favor. God, I believe that weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. And then my prayer becomes, God, please forgive me for being selfish, for thinking that you wasn't going to do it because you didn't do it when I wanted you to do it. Brother, please hold on. Brother, please keep fighting. Brother, please keep the faith. Brother, keep on going because God is going to answer your prayer. As I'm reading the comments, I'm seeing how people are saying, man, I'm going through this. And there's been some people that left comments that's going through worse things than I'm going through. But at the end of each message from my brothers, they all tell me, keep going, bro. We're going to make it. Keep going, bro. We're going to make it. So guess what? I'm pouring that back into you. I'm speaking that back into your life. I'm manifesting that it's going to make it, that you're going to make it, that you're going to overcome everything that you're up against. You're going to make it out. Be quiet. You're going to make it out. I believe that God is going to do that thing for you because you was made for this. I just felt led to really get on here to encourage you, bro. Don't stop. Don't give up. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how heavy it gets. I don't care how confused or how lost you may feel. You better not give up. You was made for this, bro. I need you to believe. If you believe it, can you type, I was made for this in the comments? Can you like this video? Can you send it to another brother? Just help me spread this word. I was made for this. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what's your race. I don't care if you're a Democrat, if you're Republican, if you're for left, if you're conservative. I don't care if you got a GED, PhD, if you live in the hood or the suburbs. I don't care if you make six figures or $6 an hour. You're going to make it through whatever you're going through. Please believe me when I say this, that God has it all under control. And as I'm speaking this word to you, I'm reminding myself that, Leon, you don't have to cry. You don't have to moan. You don't have to groan. You don't have to have pity on yourself because God is a God that will do the impossible. God is a God that can turn a situation around. God is a God that still has healing in his hand. And if we believe him, if we trust him, he shall do exceedingly above all we can ask or think of. So my prayer is, God, give me faith to trust you. Give me faith to lean on you. Give me faith to understand that you are a miracle worker. 2 weeks ago, I got on YouTube and I posted a video, and that video has begun to change my life. It's growing a page. It's receiving thousands of views and thousands of comments and thousands of likes, and I'm receiving love from my brothers. But that video really reminded me that sometimes you have to be vulnerable. Sometimes you have to be weak so other people can be comfortable, so other people can get a breakthrough. If I wasn't vulnerable in that moment, I wouldn't reach the brothers that I'm reaching. There's so many brothers that were saying, man, I was about to give up. I was about to throw in the towel. I felt like walking away, but I seen your video, and the video was a reminder that I can make it. Whatever it is that you're going through, my God, hey, please don't give up. Please don't give up. I had to remind myself that God would never leave me, nor will he forsake me. God isn't leaving me, he's leading me. God is walking before me. He's going before me to clear the path. He's walking before me to make sure everything is okay. He's going before me to make sure my path is clear. He's making sure my enemy is defeated. He's making sure I have everything I need to get to the next level. Thank you, God. Thank you for taking care of me. Bro, listen. This is one thing that I learned about God. This is one thing that I learned about God. He can turn it around in a snap of a finger. God can turn around your situation like this. If you believe, bro, you was made for this. If you believe that you was made for this, I'm telling you, whatever comes at you won't be able to destroy you. Speak over yourself. I was made for this. Say it. I was made for this. One more time, bro. I was made for this. You was made for this. I was made for this. So with that being said, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, put a smile on your face, keep grinding. You may not have the money, you may not have the car, you may not have the job, your marriage may be done, your kids may be acting crazy, you may have got fired, you may have sickness, you may have lost someone you love, you may be battling in the inside, don't nobody know, but you was made for this. I was made for this. You was made for this. You was made for it. Stay focused. You have to act like you're a horse in this season of your life. If you ever go and watch horses race, they have both blinders. And the reason why the blinders is on a horse, so they don't get distracted from what's on their left or what's on their right. The blinders is strictly designed so they can see straight and don't get off course. In this season of your life, put your blinders on. Put your blinders on. Focus. Look straight. Don't worry about what's going on. Put your blinders on, get in the zone, make up your mind. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick with it. I said it, so that's what it is. And if God said he'll take care of me, then I know he's gonna take care of me. Devil, you're trying to come at me, I can't see you. You're throwing things my way, I can't see it. You're trying to attack me, I can't see it. You're lying on me, I can't see it. Feeling sad, I don't see it. Depression is coming, I don't see it. I have blinders on in this season, and my blinders is an indicator that I will make it. What once had me shackled, I will break free. What once had me shackled, I will break free. Somebody just go like this. Just go like this. Just hold your hands like this and go like that. That's you. That's you breaking free. Every shackle, every chain, every mental block, everything that the enemy has sent your way. It won't prosper. It won't work. It won't win. It won't defeat you. You was made for this. All this message is. You was made for this. And sometimes we need brothers to let us know that we're not in this by ourselves. I needed y'all comments. I needed you to pour into me. I needed y'all to say, bro, you got this. Thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable. Thank you for showing love. And I'm giving it right back to y'all. You got this, bro. Because like I said, at the end of those comments, the only thing I seen was brothers telling other brothers, including myself, man, you better not give up, but get up. Trust God. Give it up. Don't give up, but give it up to him. Everything that's trying to consume your mind, everything that's trying to weigh you down, everything that's causing you to feel sad, give it to God. You was made for this, man.